Looking ahead to this week that's coming up, I think
Oh,
about the
yay,
movie.
Boston.
Yeah, I think about the movie Apt Pupil, and talk about a very obscure reference. But I'm thinking about Ian McKellen calling up Brad Renfro and just saying, "Now we will see what you are made of." And if the Rangers are going to do anything, make a statement, win 2 games against Boston.
I would be happy to take one. Two is a big ask against a team that's playing as well as they are.
And David Pastrnak, wow.
Yeah, it's funny how I believe he was in the 2014 draft, and he was a late pick in that draft, and just he ends up probably being, if not for Leon Draisaitl, the best player in that draft.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't have a choice.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice that year, but yeah, David Pastrnak ended up being a probably, like I said, if not for Leon Draisaitl, the best player in that draft, and he has been a house of fire coming back. So yeah, we have our hands full as Ranger fans watching these next 2 games because they're going to be.
Oh yeah, they're going to be tested. But like I said, we're probably going to do a discussion topic of us talking about the 2003 NHL draft because obviously the elder statesman on the Bruins came from that draft, and the Rangers could have gotten him too. Instead, Hugh Jessamine.
Don't say that name. You're going to make me a very angry man saying that name. Right?
You're going to give me PTSD.
Yeah, that's just a major case of PTSD right there.
I mean, there is so many guys that they missed in that draft, and 2 of them ended up playing. Well, 3 if you include Dan Fritchie, Kevin Klein, and Brian Boyle. Both were
first rounders in that Rangers. Draft. Yeah,
but that, by the way, and going back to our trade conversation before, that's what it needs to be. You got to trade a Michael Del Zotto to get a Kevin Klein. And if you do that, that's amazing. That's the reason why the Rangers were contenders. That and finding Anton Strawman. I mean, I still wish
was great.
It was great. And again, I wish we had Michael Sauer. So, all right. I haven't been putting up these, but I definitely will for this one. Give me your prediction for the next 2 games.
I'm gonna say they're both gonna be losses. I don't, and it's not just because of the lack of faith I have in this team right now to give good efforts. I think they'll have a bounce back effort, but I think they'll fall just short. And I think in the next game after that, I just think they're gonna be demoralized because they're gonna play a good game and they're still gonna lose, and that's just how it is with playing a team like Boston. Boston's playing some real good hockey right now. That perfection line is always a thorn in their side, and their defense, despite losing Chara and Krug, is still very good. So I know Georgiev is going to start in the next game against Boston. That's been confirmed.
And he'll be a knockout.
Galaxy Brain Quinn strikes again. But yeah,
I think they steal one of the games. I'll say that right now. I'm looking forward to seeing, because they were playing him against Sidney Crosby. I want to see the Keandre Miller, Brad Marchand line matchup, because like as much as that's going to be horrible to try to keep them down, and I mean, what they got to do, you got to beat the best in order to be the best. We just talked about that with Wayne Gretzky. So yeah, it's going to be. They're going to be close games. I'll hand this to them. Other than the 4-0 loss, they haven't been out of a game by 2 goals the entire season. So I'll give them that credit. But sooner or later, the levees break. It just happens.
Yeah, something's got to change with this team. I just like I know I go back to Quinn, but a lot of this is personnel decisions. A lot of this is strategy. A lot of it is lack of in-game adjustment. I don't know what it is exactly that has to change, like to the T, but it's something with the coaching. It's something with the decisions. The power play has definitely got to change. That personnel has to change absolutely. And I don't know if it's the message is lost or if it's just the system just isn't good enough. I believe honestly it's probably the system. I noticed that this team plays like the majority of their play is off the rush offensively. And you're not going to win games like that because you're not going to get into shootouts with every team. And the good defensive teams like the Islanders, like a Philadelphia, like a Boston will shut that down because they're good defensively and they're not going to trade chances. So this team has to do a better job of cycling the puck down low. They have to forecheck down low. And I don't know how David Quinn doesn't see this, but giving your offense to go off the rush and predicate all of your offense that way, it's not a sound strategy at all.
Hey, you still here? Well, you know what you should do? You should watch some of these other videos on our channel, like this one, comment, and share it with other people.